Oh, well, I kind of forgot about this little meetup. I kind of just clicked library at random, and I guess I kind of forgot about this little scene. Oh, hello, Skoy. Good to see you again. You too, Remy. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to call you about the dinner yet, but there should be an opening soon. Anyways, do you need anything from me? Has Reza been here recently? Reza? He's visited quite often since he arrived, actually. Until a few days ago, that is. Do you know what he was reading? Not particularly. I thought he just wanted to learn about our world. Did you notice anything unusual about him while he was here? Can't say I did, though he did ask me for a map once. A map? Yes, I showed him a few, but none of them seemed to be what he was looking for. Did he talk to you about anything strange while he was here? Besides the maps, nothing else worth mentioning comes to mind. Only the usual pleasantries. How are you doing? I'm not sure, to be honest. There are a lot of things on my mind right now. Like what? I'm not at liberty to discuss them at the moment. I'm supposed to be working, you know? Blushy blushy. I don't know if I actually... Wait, you were here that whole time? Not the whole time. Just long enough to know that something's up. It's nothing that concerns you. Come on, it does concern me. I know you, and I know Adine. It's really nothing of great importance. Are you aware of a certain prehistoric underground building we recently discovered? I've heard of it. She wanted a blueprint of it, which was one. I think I already went through this. Do you remember the box you dropped last time you came here? Yeah, it was filled with artifacts. We have them here for safekeeping. In any case, a blueprint is the kind of thing that would be placed in our carrier eventually. So she thinks you have it. And that's about it. Alright, so that wraps that up with Remy. And yes, I'll just go ahead and skip ahead on this. You used the skips function 10 times. You skipper. I skip. Oh. I'm not sure there's anything special about Anna wanting Reza's blood. I mean, she's a scientist, so it's natural that she'd be interested in something like that. We'll have to talk to her about it, though. Maybe she has some more details for us. The map in the library. I don't know what to think about that. He could have needed a map to plant something, I suppose. But who knows what he really wanted to do with it. It's the kind of detail that, on its own, might not tell us much, but could be crucial later on. Nice. And henceforth comes the dinner date. Hello, this is Remy speaking. I'm calling in regard to the dinner we talked about. I'll have an opening soon and was wondering if you also had the time. Let me know if you're interested. Have a good day. I guess that's my official invitation. Now the question is if I want to go or not. Which of course we are going to. I just wanted to update you. I still don't have an open spot in the facility for your tests, but I'll be free if you want to cash in your reward. Heck yes. You know I'm busy, so this is your chance for your date, if you even still want to go through with it. Take it or leave it. I don't care much either way. In any case, you know where to find me. I guess the choice is mine. Well, we're definitely gonna go with Remy first. And go through his dinner date. It's no... Let's see, what was it? Ah, he's just thanking me for the other day. For the books. It's no problem, really. Besides, I'm also here to learn more about your kind. Spending some time in the library is only appropriate. Anyways, is there anything in particular you would like to eat? How about steak? Oh, you're in luck. I do have a few steaks we could dine upon. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get that going. Look at the pictures. Let's see. I picked up one of the framed photos to examine it more closely. It was a red dragon. I guess that it was the female of young adult or college age, though I wasn't sure as it was still hard to tell without looking at the obvious signs. Her crimson scaled head was adorned with frills that ran down the back of her neck. She wasn't familiar to me. I'm guessing that was Remy's ex. Look at the pictures. The second picture showed Remy in his typical attire. Tie, glasses, and all. And one more time on the pictures. The last of the three pictures was of another red dragon, who, as far as I could tell, was a fairly young member of its species. It reminded me of a younger version of Remy, although without his typical accessories. You looked at Remy's pictures. Creep. I mean, what's so wrong about that? Hungry already, I take it. I suppose so. Although, your stomach already answered that question for you. Let's just go ahead. And I don't think the questions really matter. Wait, do you live here by yourself? I do. Honestly, you are the first person to visit in a while. He spoke softly, and his gaze wandered. Mention the pictures. Really? I saw those pictures on the coffee table. I thought you might have a family. Oh no, that's in the past. I'm not even sure why those photos are still there. Did you forget to take them down, Rems? And I don't actually have children. The picture of the young dragon was the product of a silly little program that combined photos. They'd take images of two people and create what the pair's offspring would supposedly look like. Oh. I've always wanted some children of my own, though. I see. How about you, Squay? Would you like to have children one day? Personally, yes. I think I would. Yeah. I mean, isn't it always the dream to have a family for most people who want one? But considering my age nowadays, you know, I feel like that window's come and gone. The opportunity, I mean. Just being able to teach them about the world and watch them grow up. Having a little family would be nice. I'd like that a lot. Why do you use a stove to cook? I kind of already asked him on that in the previous time. Skip to the end of the scene. No, don't skip ahead. How do you like the food? It is delicious. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I suppose you learn to cook well when you live on your own long enough. And then he talks about how he doesn't trust Anna. Maybe she isn't as bad as you just say. Oh yeah, and then he just compares the difference between humans and dragons, which are more similar than shoot, I just looked at something and then I lost my train of thought there. Whoopsie. There actually isn't one. They share the same chemical structure, so the distinction is pretty much arbitrary. I suppose it is just a way to distinguish the same structure in humans from that in non-human animals. Is that so? Interesting. And then I think he just talks about pretty much distinctions between similarities between the two races, them and the humans. I like the people. And that is good to hear. Cultural differences can make things very difficult sometimes, even within the same species. I'm glad things are working out for you so far. Oh, I just remembered. I was able to save my game after... Oh yeah, the game that we broke. Glad to hear it. And I wouldn't mind playing some of your video games. What are we agreeing to? Ah yeah, not being able to sit down and talk. I agree. You mean since I went... Oh yeah. So what have you been up to since the last time I saw you? You mean since I went into the kitchen to cook the steaks? Yes, that's what I meant. I think I picked that answer the last time too. Really? No. I guess you got me there. Ah, and then the dessert. I'm up for some dessert, which I also think is another one that I picked last time. Help him. Oh yeah. I remember picking all that up too. You don't need to apologize. This isn't just about you and your cake. Oh right, he talks about how clumsy he can be. And then he goes straight to him talking about his job. But I think I picked this last time. I think. That's easier said than done. But maybe I should consider it. I just wanted to have a nice evening with you. And now it ended up like this. I shouldn't have brought that up. Then let's not talk about it further. We can still share the other slice if you like. Alright. I helped him clean up, and after we were done, we shared the remaining slice of cake. It seemed unreal that someone with his personality could still eat his half with a single bite when I took much longer with my tiny fork. By the end of dessert, he seemed a little different, though I couldn't pinpoint how. Eventually, We said our goodbyes and I left. And now I can go on to spend time with Anna. That's what I was aiming for this whole time. And just on time. Now where is she? Hello? What's this? Looks like a message. Something came up at the last second. Wait for me. It shouldn't be too long. Anna. I guess at the last second it is meant in the literal sense here. Or else you could have just called me. Guess we're playing the waiting game then. And wait, we did. Okay, it's been like an hour, and my patience is slowly but surely running out. Let's see. Should I wait or should I go? I think I should wait. Yes. I've already waited this long, so I guess I can wait a little longer. I'm not sure who the world record holder for most patient person is, but now I feel like a contender. Still no sign of her though. Dang, she's been gone like all day. I guess I'll wait some more. Well, if she doesn't show up soon, I'm done. There you are. Where have you been all this time? Wait. Oh, there you are. Where have you been all this time? That was me. Reading comprehension must not be your strong suit, because my note clearly said I'd be back soon. Note to self. The word soon now refers to a time span of over 2 hours when waiting for a scheduled appointment. Has it really been that long? I mean, have you not noticed that the skies darkened? It certainly didn't feel like it. You know, yeah. Time seems to move at different paces depending on what you're doing. Like for instance, my job. It feels like it feels like when I'm doing my job, it doesn't take as long as I think it would, but it turns out it does. And before I know it, I'm already taking breaks, I'm already headed home. Alright, sorry for making you wait. Losing track of time happens to the best of us. It happens to me all the time. I guess we missed our movie. Oh, we were gonna go see a movie. Can't we see the late screening or something? That was the late screening. The theater's closed now. Maybe we should reschedule. That won't work. At least not for me. Today was the only day I could leave early. I won't have another chance anytime soon. It really... I don't like it when people like spend the entire day doing something when they know they had something scheduled. It's like if you're just gonna go off and do your own thing and not pay attention to the time, then not worth. Then don't be bothering with my time, because it would be wasted. So what do we do now? Maybe the coffee place is still open. I don't know. I guess that's better than nothing. Closed as well. Great. So I guess there's really nothing more we can do. That's just peachy. Why do you keep working so late anyway? Because what I'm doing is important. You're doing cancer research, right? And who told you that? Damien. I stopped by your lab some time ago, but you weren't there. That shard-born bastard. What else did he tell you about me? Nothing much. The whole thing wasn't really about you anyway. I see. Sounds like you two don't get along that well. That's the understatement of the century. Being trapped in a small room with the likes of him for hours on end every day is a scenario born of a sick mind with the intention of making me suffer as much as possible. It certainly doesn't make my research any easier. Oh, wow. So they're definitely not colleagues. I mean, they are, but not to each other, in a sense. The stress probably doesn't help you either, and it's not worth jeopardizing your health over. Don't overwork yourself. You can't save anyone if you're dead. If I don't find a cure, no one else will. No one else can. Besides, I was only late today because I got your stupid blood work ready. You have the test results? Yeah. Want to know what I have to say about them? Definitely. Okay, how much do you know about genetics? A little bit, I guess. Don't worry, I'll put it into words that are easy for you to understand. To start off, I found that on average, about 90% of your genes are homologous to our species genes. That may seem like a lot, but to put it into perspective, about 50% of your DNA is also shared with fruit. To further elaborate, you and your human neighbor back home are probably around 99.9% genetically similar. If you compare the various sentient species we have here to each other, they would only be around 95 to 97% similar. As for what exactly all of this tells us, although a match of 90% sounds like a lot, it's not as much as you might think. Still, for two beings from a different world altogether, that's quite remarkable. Beyond DNA, the biggest similarity between us is within the brain structure, but that's not surprising, considering our high-level cognitive abilities. That would surprise Maverick. What do you mean? He doesn't seem to like humans very much. I'm sure he'll be displeased to know how similar we are. Oh, he doesn't like anyone really. He's just like me in that way. Yeah, you two would make a great couple. Yeah, I'm a little late for that. I'm already his ex-girlfriend. Yo, wait, what? What? Holy... How did that relationship work? Really? How did that go? Not how you might think. It actually went pretty well. For a while, at least. Oh, wow. They actually were made for each other, alright. But in the end, we both got too absorbed in our jobs until we realized we had drifted apart too much and agreed it would be better if we just broke up. Damn. You know, that's the trouble with most relationships these days. Hardly anyone ever wants to commit to one. And even if they try to, they get so absorbed into doing all the stuff that they do, their jobs and whatever else they have going on. You know, I can understand that, you know, jobs are important and everything, real life comes first. But if you get too absorbed into doing your job and other stuff that you're doing, and spend less time with the other person that you're supposed to spend more time with, well, let's just say I'm going to let them go and do what they have to excel in life. it's better just to let them do that than have to wait days on end just to get some time in with them. And even then, hardly get in enough time when you do. And then there are people who crush on you, but don't take the initiative to meet you halfway. Rather, you end up being the kind of person to put more effort in than they. And when they don't respond back to your daily messages, it's just like, is everything okay? Are you alright? What are you doing? Why aren't you responding back? You know? I'm more of the type that wants an active relationship, where it's like, at the end of the day, we can still spend some time together, basically. I can't believe I'm talking about this. More Skoy insight. That is insane. That there have been scenes with certain dragons that I just go off on a non-stop rant about. Holy. But yeah, that's the kind of relationship I like. Having an active relationship where it's like, you know, even though despite working and everything, messages are sent back and forth on occasion. You know, it doesn't have to be anything big. You know, nice, cute little messages throughout the day, and then at the very end of it, being able to, you know, want to spend that time together. Holy shit. This game has really been bringing out some personal things about me that I never thought I'd talk about. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to linger here too long. I still respect him for the work he does. I mean, we even used to solve crime together. I'd be in the lab running tests, and he'd be out on the field chasing after the perps. Those were good times. I guess nowadays he just chases after me. Not in that way! What? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But if you know him, maybe you can help me out. I certainly can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. Okay, but this is just between us, alright? Sure, whatever. She's got a very short patience tolerance. Maverick is convinced that I'm the accomplice of a crime. He made a point to tell me that he's searching for proof to legally arrest me, or worse. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Really? It's nothing. He can't find any proof that doesn't exist. Still, it doesn't feel nice to be threatened and stalked, especially by someone like him. That's just him. He gets way too into it once he sets his sight on something. I noticed. It's his job. What do you expect? I wish he'd just leave me alone. He wasn't always like this, you know. Really? A couple of years ago, he was assigned to this one case. Oh! He was still relatively new on the force, young and eager to help. Then reality came crashing down on him. Maverick backstory! We're gonna get to know more about Maverick. There was a serial killer who shook up the whole town. The victims were apparently Eden. Yo. We later found out that the killer's actions were the result of a degenerative disease, which brought which brought his feral nature to the foreground. At that point, he was just a wild animal, turned into a cannibal that hunted under the shadow of night. Everyone in town was up in arms, terrified that they'd be next. The police did everything they could. A curfew was instated and patrols guarded the streets at night. And then they found him munching on his fifth victim. Poor little Maverick was not prepared for what he would find. Oh no. Stand back, Maverick. I'll handle this. Miles? It was his brother. Oh. Holy shit. No wonder he's a Hearthstone cop. Why was I never told about this? Step away from the body, Miles. Miles couldn't comprehend their words, and only saw rivals who wanted to take away his prey. And he wasn't about to just let go of it without a fight. Miles raised his head from his kill, blood dripping from his maw. The officer's breaths were smothered by the deathly stillness of the night. Fangs bared, the feral dragon snarled and stood strong in front of his meal, prepared to protect it from the two who intruded upon his territory. Whatever this is, Miles, it's over. Don't make it worse now. Oh, Miles was the one who had... Oh, I thought Miles was the brother who died. No. So I'm looking at the Maverick and his brother and the other dragon, and I'm seeing kind of similarities. Oh. Holy shit. I can't imagine I can't imagine how much pain Maverick was in just to see this happen. His own brother going feral. In an instant, Miles was upon Bryce. They clashed in a flurry of teeth and claws. Miles had the advantage with his small frame and quick movements, and Bryce could not get a clear hit in. It all happened so fast that Maverick didn't know what to do. They rolled on the ground, and Bryce ended up on his back, as helpless as a turtle. Miles pinned him and clamped his jaws on his neck. Bryce's claws were the only thing preventing Miles from biting down, and they were slipping, slick with blood and quivering with fatigue, as he tried to push him off. For a brief moment, Bryce thought he'd meet his end, when the jaws suddenly relaxed and he was able to dislodge them. Oh my gosh! I don't want to know what happens next. Can I just turn off the game? When he looked up, he saw that Maverick had managed to get to Miles from behind. He bit through his brother's neck from above. That is heart-wrenching. What are you supposed to do when you see someone you care about turn? When you see someone you care about lose their mind and become a former shell of who they once were? Blood flowed from Maverick's jaws and all over Miles' lifeless body. Bryce had been saved, but the young dragon wore a wide-eyed, empty stare. Maverick blamed himself for not taking better care of his brother. He knew Miles had problems and was taking medication for it, but he wished he could have done more to help him. Oh my goodness! That is crazy. That's just wow. I never knew Anna had so much information on Maverick. Just it now explains why he's so stone cold most of the time. Why he's the rough cop of the Force. He lives with that regret every day now. The medication wasn't the right one, by the way. Maverick takes solace in the fact that he was able to save Bryce, but he's never been the same since that incident. Now, he scrutinizes everyone and everything. Well, that explains so much. Maybe if we got on Maverick's good side, like with Bryce, I guess, or Dyne, he could be the kind of friend that, or we could be the kind of friend that he would need. I'm not sure how that's supposed to help me. It doesn't. But now you know why he is how he is. It's not unusual for him to act like this, so you might just have to wait it out. Anyway, let's get back to your test results. Since you were so interested, did you want a copy of them? Yeah, I'd appreciate that. No problem. I heard you also wanted Race's blood. Of course. I invited him over too, but that was before you arrived here. And I thought what we had was special. Oh, it is. And Reza was too stuck up to agree to anything. He wouldn't even participate in an exhilarating round of trivia board game. Oh wait, no, he wouldn't even participate in an exhilarating round of trivia board games? Not even that. Can you believe it? I can almost see the sarcasm dripping from your mouth. Still, it's kind of a shame. It would have been interesting to compare your blood to his. What a shame indeed. Let's just enjoy our romantic date in the back alley of a coffee shop. Of course. Unless you want to take this someplace else. What? You don't like hanging around dirty back alleyways? Dirty back alleys? Actually, I do. I mean, normally I'd probably pick this, but interesting. I think it'd be kind of exhilarating to be on the outside in public, but hidden privately way, having a nice little date conversation and whatnot. Now that's the spirit. I'm getting kind of hungry. I figured we'd be having a meal on our date. What? Can't you go a few hours without having to stuff your face? I could offer you a handful of dirt, if that's to your taste, Scaly. I'll pass. I'm afraid that's all we have on the menu. Unless, well, I know one place that never closes. Let's go there. Sure. After several minutes of walking, Anna led me to the outskirts of town. We arrived at a farmhouse. On one side, fields stretched toward the horizon, and on the other were lush green hills with fenced populations of animals. What kind of restaurant is this supposed to be? self-serve. You're a bad girl, Anna. Because I think I would have probably picked that. I know. Well, how well can you hunt? Me? Even if I knew how, it's not like I have any equipment here. Equipment? What sissy. You've got hands and teeth. What more do you need? A long-range weapon, maybe? Like fire? I suppose even you can make use of that. I don't think Anna quite understands how humans function. It'd be kind of weird to hunt animals with just your bare hands. Alright, since I'm apparently the only one capable of acquiring food, I'll be right back. Anna walked over to a fenced enclosure of animals that reminded me of sheep. She crouched and squeezed herself through the bars, after which I lost sight of her. Waiting game 2.0 starts. It took only a couple of minutes for her to return, dragging one of the animals behind her with her now bloody jaws and hands. Dinner's ready. I'm supposed to eat that raw? What kind of animal is this? It's called a mouflon. Anyway, do you have a part you prefer? See how nice I am? See how nice... See how nice... Why am I having trouble saying this? See how nice I am? I'm even letting you choose first. I kept saying, see how nice I am? Or something similar to that. Well, normally, I'd either do with anything would do, or I'm not hungry anymore. But the guide is telling me to pick offal. Good choice. Using one of her claws, she skinned the dead mouflon and divided it into various pieces. Do you want yours grilled or raw? Grilled. Unless prepared properly, raw meat carries a significant risk of diseases for us. How inept can your species even be? You can't hunt on your own, and you need tools and help at every step. You don't even have claws to cut things up. I'm not sure how you could ever survive in the wild. Seriously, what god did you piss off to end up like that? Oh, yo. You know, now that she brings that up, I wonder what kind of religion the dragons have there. Like, is it the same as ours, or do the dragons have their own kind of religion that they follow? I am kind of curious to figure that out. You know, now that I think about it, with every galaxy out there with alternate worlds, I wonder what different religions they may have. That would be some really good knowledge to learn. I have no idea. Because I probably would have picked one of these two. It's kind of sad when you look at it from that perspective. So many different species have so many amazing natural abilities that it seems like we got the bad end of the deal. We always held on to the fact that we had our brains and intellect, but now that we found you, that doesn't really make us unique anymore. Mother Nature has been so cruel to your race that I almost feel sorry for you. She opened her maw wide before a liquid shot from both corners of her mouth and onto the ground below the parts of the mouflon that she had prepared. After a few seconds, the liquid burst into flame, heating up our dinner. Well, you know what? I think this is good for Anna. She may not have the patience. She may not have enough patience, but maybe we'd be able to change her tune. Maybe by a slight margin. Get her to come around a little bit and see that we're not so bad. That's a neat trick. I bet you wish you could do that, huh? That'd be wicked cool, honestly. Right? It comes in handy. How would that be like, to be able to breathe fire like a dragon? Honestly, dragons have always been my favorite mythical creatures. And I'm sure you can tell by the profile picture on my YouTube channel. A dragon pony that can breathe fire. He doesn't get affected by cold. He's like a walking heater, because he's a walking heater basically, and fire does not affect him in any way. Bro, I'd have him made. That is crazy how I thought that up with him when I first created my OC. Of course, back then I didn't think to turn him into a dragon, but I don't know, years later, I don't exactly know where the idea of turning him into a dragon came from, but in a way, I think it would work for me. Or actually, rather, it did work for me. A dragon pony who can never get cold or hot. Not sure about lava, though. Because he doesn't have scales. He's more like a furry dragon. And he can breathe fire. How does that work anyway? Don't you ever burn your mouth? Not at all. There are actually two different components. They only catch on fire when a sufficient quantity of both is present. Interesting. Whoa. The flames weakened and grew smaller until they went out, revealing steamy, appetizing pieces of meat. That was an amazing pick. Help yourself. I grabbed a piece, but dropped it as soon as I felt the heat on my fingertips. Ouch! That's still hot. Can't take a little heat, huh? That's too bad. Unaffected by its temperature, she took a piece into her hand, tore a chunk out of it with her teeth, and started chewing. I guess your scales are a good insulator. Evidently so. How does it taste? Just wonderful. Stolen goods always taste best. I can already picture the old farmer reduced to tears after he discovers one of his precious mufflons is gone. Why would you do that, though? You're a wild one, Anna, because I probably would have picked what a shame. Thanks. I could teach you a thing or two. I think it should be cool enough for your sensitive little fingers now. Carefully, I grabbed one of the pieces, which by now had indeed cooled enough down to not burn me anymore, and took a bite. It was a little bland, I had to admit, but not bad for something that was alive less than an hour ago, and prepared in the wild. Yeah, because back in the day, there were no ovens, there were no grill stove tops to cook anything. people would have to, create, bonfires to cook their meals, heat them on hot rocks. I'm pretty sure that if today's society had to hunt for food, they wouldn't. They'd be outright offing each other just to get manufactured food. Deer meat is actually really, really good. I have an uncle who hunts, and he's made deer burger. He's made burgers out of those deers, and boy, howdy, are they delicious. And then, of course, you got all the vegans out there protesting about how eating meat is wrong, but it's like, well, how did our ancestors survive in the past? They sure as hell didn't just eat wild berries all day, every day. They needed the meat to strengthen their body. So henceforth, they had to go and hunt, because that was the only way that they would even get food. So, take that to the bank and cash it. How do you like your mufflon a la Anna? Not bad. I would have said I could have used a few spices, but not bad. Not bad, I'd have to say. Especially at that price. How often do you just go out and hunt on your own? Only when necessary, or when I feel like it. I still go to fancy restaurants because I can afford it, but they don't mean much to me. For me, it's all about the experience, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. True, and it's all about balance. Just because you go to a restaurant doesn't mean that you always have to eat at a restaurant. Sometimes the best experience is basically hunting and growing veggies in the backyard. I feel like maybe we as a society should start, learning to grow our own foods. I mean, most people already do, but not everybody. Most people are too reliant on what's made rather than what to grow. Because if you start in the spring, at the very least by the fall, you can have just enough to last you the winter. Stardew Valley is kind of a prime example. You can turn eggs into mayonnaise. You can turn mayonnaise into cheese, or eggs into cheese, or something similar to that. Inspiration can come from so many different things. I can see your point. This was unusual, but fun. This certainly isn't how I thought the evening would go, but it was pretty fun. Anyways, I'm stuffed. Me too. There's still plenty left over. What are we going to do with it all? We can just leave it here. Hey, maybe the old farmer will help himself to it. How nice of us to leave some for him. Yeah, he should pay me for cooking him such a nice meal. Poor guy comes out and goes, "My mufflon! No!" We should probably leave before that senile has-been wakes up from his evening nap. Oh, he's that kind of farmer. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Well, that was interesting. Wait a minute. I've got something for you. Here you go. Your test results. Black on white. Thanks. But did you really need to spend all that extra time getting this done today? I just wanted to get it over with when I had the chance. Maybe you should start thinking about not working so late on a regular basis. It might do you some good, Anna. You know, I think you have a point. I haven't been feeling like myself lately. And there are various reasons for that, but working too much might be one. Yeah, it's always good to take a break from jobs every now and then. Too much of it can... Yeah, too much of work can result in you losing the time that you could be spending doing something else. You only got one life. Go live it. Unless you prefer a job, unless you find that your job is actually fun, in which case, all the more to you. Today was kind of fun, so maybe I should make the effort to get out every once in a while. That's the spirit. Speaking of which, now that our date is officially over, we should talk about your end of the deal. Of course. There is an opening soon where I can fit you in. I'll call you with all the details. I don't remember what the deal was. I shall be looking forward to that. Well, this certainly was a long one. Of course, by the time that this is out, you already know that I'm probably going to have it split into 2 episodes. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. I'm not even that far in editing, but... I mostly wanted to try and get through Remy and Anna's scenes, since I've already done most of them. Well, the first few, or the first 1 or 2 of them. Well, with Anna, it was only just that one, after which she died every time. Remy, I've done a little bit more than that, but now that I'm dating both him and her, I'll have them wrapped up, get the ice cream dragon, and then I can focus on the true ending. I still believe that I need all the dragons alive to get the true ending. Unless I need to be alone for this. But I'll figure that out later on. But in the meanwhile, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to see more in the future. I'll catch you later.